evidence whether the LOP has ever been elected, except one LOP who was elected. That was Ogenga Latigo. The rest, I'm not very sure whether the law was complied with. It is actually that law that I want to strengthen and bring it to a situation where the election can be done by all members of the opposition. The Parliamentary Administration Amendment Act of 2006. It requires that election be done, but it is not done if you look at the law the way it is. We only know what happened during Ogenga Latigo contesting with the late Member of Parliament for Chadondo, by then, Mzee Njuga. That is the only one I know. The rest, I'm not aware. Why? Because it is done when other members are not involved. So my proposition is, let us involve other members of the opposition in the election. So, Mr. Chairman, that is a brief summary I can give. So I want to go straight to the bill by starting with the object of the bill. I don't know whether there are copies. Okay.
We don't have.
The object of the bill is, you've read.
I propose, Mr. Chairman, it takes us to the clauses because that's the most crucial.
Why don't you allow me to cap 272 to provide for the election of the leader of the opposition by members of the opposition in Parliament from among members of the party in opposition to government having the greatest numerical strength in the Parliament, to provide additional grounds upon which the leader of opposition may cease to hold the office, to require the shadow cabinet to be approved by members of the opposition parties in Parliament, to require the leader of opposition to consult all opposition political parties represented in Parliament when appointing chairpersons, deputy chairpersons of standing committees of Parliament. Clause 1, Section 1 of the Administration of Parliament Act defines the leader of opposition of the party in opposition to government with the greatest numerical strength in the Parliament. Clause 1 of the bill seeks to correctly define a leader of the opposition as that member of Parliament who is the leader in Parliament of members of the opposition parties in Parliament. The amendment seeks to ensure that the leader of opposition represents the views and aspirations of all opposition political parties in Parliament. This will enhance accountability of the leader of opposition to all political parties in Parliament. Clause 2 of the bill seeks to amend Section 8 of the Principal Act to require the leader of the opposition to be elected by members of all opposition parties in Parliament. The party in opposition to government having the greatest numerical strength in the Parliament to nominate from among its members in the Parliament at least 3 members from whom the leader of opposition shall be elected, and to empower Parliament to prescribe the procedure for election of leader of opposition under the rules of procedure of Parliament. This proposal will grant all members of the opposition in Parliament opportunity to participate in the determination of the leader of opposition in order to achieve effective representation. B, encourages transparency and entrenches democracy by requiring an actual election to be carried out to fill the position of the leader of the opposition. Clause 3 of the bill. The bill seeks to amend Section 9 of the Principal Act to provide additional grounds upon which the leader of opposition may cease to hold office. The additional grounds are: A, he or she ceases to be a member of the political party in opposition to the government having the greatest numerical strength in Parliament. B, he or she is removed from office of the...
At this particular stage, introducing new matters which are not covered under the bill as presented in the Parliament and as delivered to us before us. So is he procedure in order to bring amendments to his own bill which have not been formally moved before the House.
When you were in the House, it is on the basis of this bill that you are given a certificate of financial implication. So when you reach at the committee now and you're giving us additional amendments, it is not in the spirit of the certificate, because they looked at this and on the basis of this you are given. So additional amendments would be extrinsic, would be outside for our consideration. Thank you.
Proceed, Honorable.
Under our rules 129 sub rule 4,
Yes.
the committee may, if I can read, the committee may propose and accept proposed amendments in the bill as it considers fit, if the amendments, including the new clauses and new schedules, are relevant to the subject matter. But the main point we are raising is that we don't have it even at this stage. There is no print of it that should have circulated to us so that we can. So he's just speaking from his.
So the ruling is that under rule.
To District Woman Representative and a member of this committee. On the basis of what Honorable Niwagaba has guided,
And that is what
okay, you've already given your ruling, Honorable Chair, but just to share the experience that he was citing about the 102B amendment, your predecessor, Honorable Guster, yes, in chair and constituency, inspired, I think he was deputy chair at some point. Anyway, he inspired the committee to introduce a very infamous clause, which made us at the end of it look really, really shabby. And you know what the court said about introducing amendments at this point. But also, as a member who has had experience, when you get a certificate of financial implication and have any addition, because when you apply, you attach the bill. If you have any addition to that bill, you have to get a fresh certificate of financial implication. And now, like this one, those new amendments have a charge, because having 2 additional commissioners has a charge to our voters' parliament. So I invite you, Honorable Chair, to reconsider.
Of the committee of legal chosen, you can choose one. It can be by direct appointment, it can be through an election. It's a process. That is my humble interpretation. Thank you.
Is that he
He
cited the precedent of an election of law between the Honorable Latigo and I believe Sam Juba. Could you clarify to us where this election took place? Was it here in Parliament, and who presided over that election at that time? Because that's where you are coming from, I think, as the best practice. Then I would like you to clarify. Secondly, under Article 82A, where you derive your bill from, I see you have concentrated on the provision under 82A 2A as well, which is how he or she is chosen. If along the way somebody would like to also deal with B, which is his or her status, C, his or her role and functions, and then D, the benefits and privileges. For example, since you are the leader of the opposition, under D, we propose that you don't draw benefits from Parliament. You draw from your political party. Would you be comfortable that the other provisions are also incorporated in this bill? For example, to say the leader of the opposition is not entitled to any benefit from this Parliament. Would you be comfortable if that proposal is made?
In the additional amendment, the intention to add clause 4, intending to amend section 11 of the Principal Act. What motivates you to say you want to limit the involvement of the opposite party in the appointment of the shadow cabinet? What's the motivation? What are you trying to cure by this amendment?
Entire Parliament and also strengthen the democratic processes. What guides you to assert that the only way we can strengthen this office is to be chosen or to be elected by only members of the opposition party? And what lacuna would it create if, like all other offices that administer parliament, political offices, the whole parliament is involved in?
We are a younger democracy, especially in terms of cementing multi-party democracy. We barely restored it in 2006, and all legislations that restored multi-party democracy were made in a suspicion and potentially not in good faith. I saw many colleagues come into Parliament for the first time that were even scared to shake the hand of the leader of the opposition in Parliament, lest their neighbors see them and report to them the powers that be. I even know senior politicians in this country that believe that the opposition is a bother, and therefore anything that can be done to curtail the opposition should be done. So while considering these legislations that touch the spirit of the opposition, not that I believe we shall be permanently in the opposition, but I'm inviting honorable members here to understand that the bulk of the spirit obtaining in the original legislations was lukewarm. Even when you look at the Administration of Parliament Act, the way the language was couched, it never was done to facilitate the growth of multi-party democracy. And therefore, probably this bill, properly considered without emotions, could give multi-party democracy a new beginning. All I want to ask of the mover is to be very clear on every other aspect he wants to achieve, especially in the detailing and making us understand what exactly you want to cure in this entire bill, Honorable Chair. I thought I should bring that obiter into perspective that we can have received.
Naye ekyo kiri subject ku biki bye tugenda okwogera wano kubanga ndowooza mulabye ekibeera mu komiti si kusiika binyeebwa na kubirya. Buli muntu akusaba tulanga bw'asobodde naye olina okuddamu. Kaakati waliwo ekimu kye ndabye ekigenda okunsanyusa ennyo. Byebyo byennyongeddemu era nabadde nfunye obuzibu nga ndaba bakirwanyisa nga tebaagala mbyongeremu kubanga mulimu mwesooka tebyalimu naye kati mbyongeddemu era babirisiivinze. Ekyo ekimu ku bisinza okunsanyusa nti bwe tunaabiyisa ojja kulaba nga ate tutereezezza nnyo n'okusingako bwe tubadde. N'olwekyo ndi musanyufu nti komiti empadde obudde nimbabuulira bye ndowooza nti bye njagala. Nyongeddemu njagalamu komishona omulala owa Parliament naye bakomishona ababiri kubanga waliwo unfairness. Abantu bonna abalala abatuula ku komishoni ba NRM ffe tuyinayo omu yekka okujjako ng'ogaseeko leader of opposition. Kati ne we babeera babiri era argument gye bakola ey'ababiri nga balinga 9 kiba kizibu. Kati kwe kwagala twongereko omu nga naye omu oyo tebava mu kibiina kifaanagana, bonna bava mu bibiina bya njawulo naye nga bya opposition. Ekyo ndowooza nti wenkiyisaamu nakyo tekiba kibi. Ekyokubiri njagala time allocation nga bwe tugenda wali mu plenary okwogera basooka kuyita bibiina kubanga tuli mu multi-party dispensation. Basooka ne bayita kino ne bayita kiri ne bayita kino ku nsonga yonna. Oba bawadde eddakiika 10 oba 5 ne mwogera bwe mumala ne balyoka bayita buli muntu. Ndowooza nti ekyo kirungi eri ffe ffenna. Ekyokusatu kye njagala okwongeramu sente zino ezigenda mu office ya leader of opposition. Esente ezo zikola ku ffe ffenna ab'ebibiina ebyenjawulo. Kati nga kye njagala sente ezo zibeere ewa commissioner atwala oludda oluvuganya naye nga wiipu w'ekibiina asobola okuzaasesinga oba not assessing but accessing nga asobola okuzaaccessinga nga talina gwabuuzizzaako ye omulimu gwe kola bajeti ye n'agiwa commissioner sente we ziba weziri n'azimuwa ne bagenda bakola ebiyamba ekibiina kyabwe. Kati si bwe kiri. Kati bwe kiri olina okugenda ewa leader of opposition yenna abeerawo ye n'akusalirawo kumpi kikyalina okukola. Kati ekyo nakyo njagala okukijjawo tusobole okukulaakulanya n'ebibiina bino ebirala. Bye bimu ku bye njagadde okwongerako. Ekyokuna tekiri offhead kati naye ndowooza bibadde bina. Naye bino okusooka njagala mulabye nga Oseku, Honorable Oseku ambuuzizza ekibuuzo ekikulu ennyo. Nze kye njagala nga okulonda kwa president kubaddewo abeera owookubiri kasita afuna 50% ey'obululu bw'oli akulembedde oyo ajje buzzi mu Parliament abeere nga yakulembedde oludda oluvuganya. Eyo ye first option gye nnina. Kati ekyokubiri bw'aba tasobodde kufuna bisaanyizo ebyo tukozesa kulonda ekibiina ekirina ababaka abangi wano. Kakati ekyo nakyo bwe kiba tekisobose kati ndeesemu actually ekyokuna kye mbadde mumbuuza kizze. Ndeeseewo embeera nti singa ebibiina bibiri bireeta ababaka nga omuwendo gwenkana tukola tutya? Kati nze ntaddewo nti buli kibiina kironda basatu ne kibatuwa ne tujjako omu. Ekyo kyendeese singa tetuba tetugenze mu buyinza mu 2026 kuba tuba ebyo tebitukwatako naye abalibeerawo nze ekyo kyemba mbalowoolezza. Ekirala nti engoba ya leader of opposition mulabye nga Honorable Fox Odoyaga nti fenna tulonde naye constitution bwe bagikola baafaayo nnyo okulaga nti oludda oluvuganya lweronderenga era nze ekyo kyenkyawagira. Naye speaker agenda actually nakola declaration kati kyenjagala tukyuseemu awo nti tuteekengawo motion nga bwolaba eya prime minister kubanga ono kumpi yenkanankana ne prime minister. Kati tuteekengawo motion Parliament egiyise bwegiyisa nga kiwedde.